Iraqi Dinar today. And right now, if you're holding dinar, you need to hear this. Not because it is exciting, not because there is a big headline breaking today, but because what is actually moving right now is quiet. And quiet is exactly what you should be paying attention to. There is no viral post about this. There is no flashy channel covering it the way it deserves. What is happening is slow, deliberate, and structured. And in the world of currency, slow and deliberate usually means serious. In this video, we are going to walk through every layer of what I am calling the silent protection moves around the dinar. We are going to name who is involved. We are going to explain what each move means in plain language. And we are going to tell you what to watch going forward, so you are never caught off guard. I will not sit here and give you a date. I will not throw out a rate number to get your hopes up. That is not what this channel is built on. What I will give you is structure, context, and facts you can actually use. If you have been worn down by the back and forth, if you have heard too many promises that led nowhere, this video is specifically for you. We are cutting through all of it. No noise, no hype, just the real framework of what is happening and why it matters to you as a holder. So set everything else aside for the next few minutes. Get comfortable, because when you understand how silent moves work, you will never look at this space the same way again. Let's get into it. Silent moves to protect the dinar, who is behind them, and what they mean for your position right now. Stay with me, because what comes next is the part most holders completely miss. And it may be the most important thing you hear today. Let's start with what silent moves actually are, because this term gets thrown around without a real explanation. Silent moves are not announcements. They are not press conferences. They are not social media posts from some insider account. Silent moves are the actions that happen inside institutions, inside meeting rooms, inside legal committees, and inside banking systems long before anything reaches the public. They look like technical reforms. They look like updated banking laws. They look like quiet conversations between finance ministries and international partners. They look like new digital payment frameworks being tested inside local banks. None of that makes headlines, but all of it shapes what is possible for a currency down the road. Here is a simple way to think about it. Before a house is sold, the owner fixes the wiring, repairs the plumbing, repaints the walls, and gets an inspection done. None of that is visible to the neighborhood, but without it, no serious buyer shows up. Countries work the same way. Before any major monetary shift can happen in a credible and stable way, the systems underneath must be rebuilt and reinforced. That is exactly the kind of work happening right now. Now, let's name the main players involved in these quiet moves, because it is never just one actor. First, the central bank. They control monetary policy. They manage foreign reserves. They set the rules banks must follow. When they move, everything else adjusts around them. Second, international financial institutions and trade bodies. When a country aligns with their standards, it signals to the entire global system that the country is ready to operate by shared rules. That matters enormously for investment and banking access. Third, credit rating agencies. Their assessments shape whether big institutions trust a country enough to engage with it financially. Fourth, foreign governments and strategic diplomatic partners. Their support or opposition can either open doors or close them. Fifth, commercial and local banks. They are the infrastructure. They are the pipes through which any real monetary move must flow. All five work separately. But when they start moving in the same direction, that alignment is a powerful signal. Do not go anywhere, because the next piece connects all of these players to something specific that directly affects your dinar position, and you will want to hear every word of it. Now that you know who the players are, let's talk about what they are actually doing and why each action matters to you directly. Start with trade and finance standards. When a country works toward meeting international benchmarks, it does not just flip a switch. It rewrites laws. It upgrades reporting systems. It builds data infrastructure. It trains banking staff on new compliance procedures. Every one of those steps takes time, resources, and political will. When you see that work being done consistently, it tells you the country is serious about its place in the global financial system. For dinar holders, that seriousness is a foundation everything else gets built on. Next, credit ratings. This one is underrated by most holders, and it should not be. When a respected rating agency looks at a country and sees improving budgets, stronger governance, and more stable institutions, they reflect that in their assessment. And when that assessment improves, large investors and international banks take notice. They become more willing to engage. They become more willing to support structured financial transitions. A country with improving credit ratings is a country that big institutions are quietly getting more comfortable with. That comfort is not loud, but it is real and it is significant. Then there is the central bank's internal work. Most people only pay attention to the central bank when they make a public announcement. But the more important work happens between the announcements. Digital banking upgrades, anti-money laundering system improvements, reserve management adjustments, exchange rate policy reviews. These internal moves are the scaffolding. They are what makes it possible to execute any larger shift in a controlled and credible way. When you see the central bank consistently publishing policy updates, signing technical agreements, and modernizing its systems, that is your signal that serious preparation is underway. Banking sector reform ties all of this together. Stronger banks mean safer transactions. Safer transactions mean more reliable exchange processes. More reliable exchange processes mean that when any official framework is introduced, it actually functions the way it is supposed rather than collapsing under pressure. Every one of these moves is quiet. Every one of them matters. Stay right here, because in the next part we're going to get into the risks, the scams targeting holders right now, and the exact steps you should be taking to protect yourself before anything else changes. Let's talk about protection in the most practical sense, because this is where a lot of holders make costly mistakes. When officials and institutions talk about protecting the currency, they are not talking about a single dramatic action. They are talking about building a system of safeguards, clear exchange procedures, legal frameworks that prevent fraud, anti-money laundering checks, liquidity tools that allow banks to handle large flows without breaking down, limits that prevent abuse and chaos during any transition period. When those safeguards are properly built and tested, honest holders benefit. When they are missing or rushed, chaos fills a gap and bad actors move in fast. This is exactly why the quiet, careful pace of institutional work is actually a good sign. It means the people responsible for the process are trying to get it right rather than rushing it for optics. Rushed monetary transitions without proper frameworks behind them tend to hurt ordinary holders most. Careful, layered transitions backed by real institutional support tend to protect them. Now let's address the scam risk directly, because it is serious and it is growing. The dinar space has always attracted people looking to take advantage of hopeful holders. The tactics are predictable. Promises of guaranteed payouts, claims of secret insider access, offers to secure your position in a private redemption program for an upfront fee. These are not opportunities. They are traps. No legitimate exchange process works through unofficial agents charging access fees. No real bank attaches its name to informal rumor cycles. When an official exchange framework eventually exists, it will come with legal notices, published procedures, and verifiable institutional confirmation. Until that exists, any offer that requires you pay first or act fast is a red flag. If you are on any forum or group and someone is pushing urgency without documented official backing, slow down immediately. Scams are built on emotion and haste. Your best defense is patience and verification. Here are 5 practical steps to protect yourself right now. Keep clear records of your holdings. Avoid any offers demanding upfront fees. Rely only on official institutional statements. Diversify risk for money you cannot afford to lose. And follow verified reporting rather than social media speculation. Stay with me for one more part, because we're going to close with exactly what to watch in the weeks ahead and how to keep your thinking sharp when everything around you feels uncertain. If this is making sense and helping you think more clearly, hit like and subscribe to Iraqi Dinar today. We keep it straight, factual, and focused so you never have to sort through the noise alone. So let's close with what actually matters going forward and how to keep your thinking clear when the noise gets loud again, because it always does. The question most holders ask is about timing. When will something happen? What is the date? What is the rate? And I understand why those questions feel urgent, but here is the honest truth. Quiet institutional moves do not come with a public schedule. They move when conditions are met, when legal frameworks are finalized, when banking systems pass their tests, when diplomatic alignment reaches the right threshold, when reserve positions support a credible transition. Those conditions do not follow a calendar that gets posted online. They follow a process, and that process has its own pace. What you can do is watch the right signals. Watch for official legal texts being published and implemented. Watch for central bank policy statements that reflect system upgrades. Watch for reports from respected financial institutions that show improving stability and governance. Watch for concrete banking improvements like digital payment rollouts and compliance upgrades. Watch for diplomatic statements from strategic partners that indicate genuine support. When you see those signals appearing in sequence and building on each other, that pattern means far more than any rumor or prediction ever could. Emotion is the enemy of good decisions in this space. Hope and fear will both push you toward mistakes if you let them drive your choices. Set your own rules in advance. Decide what verified conditions would change your position. Stick to those rules. Talk to a trusted financial advisor if you are unsure. Ground every decision in documented facts and official actions, not in what someone posted at midnight with no source attached. Loud claims have never built anything real. Quiet, steady work always has. The silent moves around the dinar are the legal updates, the banking reforms, the reserve planning, the institutional alignments, and the diplomatic groundwork. Those are the building blocks. Holders who watch structure instead of chasing dates are the ones who stay calm, think clearly, and make smarter choices when real verified change arrives. Watch the structure. Ignore the chatter. Stay steady. And if you made it all the way to the end, you already think differently than most people in this space. That is exactly the kind of holder who is ready when real change comes. If this video brought you clarity, please like it. Share it with another holder who needs to hear this. And subscribe to Iraqi Dinar today for straight factual updates every time something real worth watching develops. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and your question may become the next video. Stay safe out there, stay patient, and I will see you in the next update.